There's a list of things to recognize, identify, and form a better habit. In Tamoguna, not performing duties, laziness. We may be lazy to communicate with our partner. Maybe we don't want to tell them everything. We don't want to actually start the relationship with the proper proactive mood, but we may be just lazy. In passion, no sanction of authority, whimsical, trying to do things whimsically. I'm attracted to this person, I feel to do this thing, I just do it. Not listening to people, not listening to good astrologers, not listening to senior devotees, but just trying to do things in a relationship which is exciting in the beginning. This can cause a lot of problems later on. Sattvaguna, dutiful, sincere, obedient. We try to do things in calm, in consideration with different signs that Krishna sends us, and not just jump into a relationship or phases of relationship just because we are inspired or we are just passionate about it. In Tamoguna, there is a sort of negative attachment, because even hatred is also negative attachment. Prabhupada says that. So when there is negative attachment, we try to do things in a manipulative way. We try to get attention of somebody in a very negative way, not be direct, not be straightforward, try to do things, say no, but actually we mean yes, and we hope that they understand. This is all Tamoguna. And Rajaguna, there is suffering due to excess attachment and attachment to the result. In any relationship, there is going to be certain attachment, and if that attachment is not based on Krishna being in the center, there is definitely going to be disappointment. So we should try to act in a relationship with utmost sincerity and then not depend on the result. Like, what I mean is, in passion we try to do a lot for the partner, and then we expect that the other partner is receptive or will react and give us the kind of validation, the kind of appreciation that we are looking for, and we can become very disappointed, and years and years and years of doing this can actually make us very weak. Next is Sattva, acting with duty without attachment. Especially when it comes to relationship, this mood of trying to do the duty, express, be sincere, ask right questions, not to become excessively negatively attached, and not to become too much in a passionate mood, expect results, but try to do our best, not be lazy, but at the same time not expect or depend on the result. In Tamoguna, there is constant comparison. Oh, but you did that, therefore I'm going to do the same thing. Or that person's partner is doing this, and therefore I also want this. This is immaturity, and it's also in the mode of Tamoguna. In the mode of passion, competing mindlessly. There is not only comparison, there's not only, oh, they did that, you didn't do, for the anniversary you didn't bring us anything, oh, it's already 1 month we are talking and you didn't even remember the day, all these kind of complications. That's Tamoguna. And in passion, we tend to compete mindlessly. Oh, you did not call me, I will compete with you and I will not call you for this long. Or I'm going to do this because you think that the other person in that particular relationship, you think that she's doing better, I will do better than that. Or if your partner is appreciative about somebody and says, oh, look how beautifully they did this, and then we start to feel like, oh, I have to do better than them to show that I am better. So these are all in the mode of passion. Again, it does not take us very long. Next, Sattva, contributing consciously. There is that need to want to progress, there is that need to want to please the person, but again trying to do it consciously with Krishna in the center, trying to do it not for our own fame or not for our own pleasure, but trying to do it in a more contributing mood. We want to contribute to this relationship, we want to contribute in general. Ooh, the big one, Tamoguna, looking at other people's palaces and burning your own hut. We all either enjoy or suffer because of our previous activities. We all have certain karma, good or bad. We cannot all of us become millionaires. We may not have that karma. So all of us may not get what our friends have or our neighbors have. So to try to focus on other people's great things and not value what we have, and to neglect and to burn our own situation by neglecting our duties, by neglecting our relationships because somebody else has something better, it's a very, very tamasic thing to do. In Rajoguna, we are sitting on gems and we are begging for glass. In other words, we do have beautiful things in our life, in our relationship, in ourselves, but we are not recognizing them. So our mind is constantly after something that is glittering over that side of the banks. And we're thinking that is better than what we have. And therefore we become again passionate in trying to, wow, that thing is so nice. And we neglect what we have. We have gems, we have diamonds that we're sitting upon and we're begging for glass. So that is many times when people come for consultations, this is what I have seen. People do have very beautiful karma, they do have good qualities in themselves and in their partners, but they do not recognize it. So their consciousness, it's again coming to the sun. When the sun is not balanced, when the sun is in a very afflicted condition, people do not recognize the good qualities they have in them. They are unable to recognize the opportunity for happiness that they already have in life. So they are constantly worried and always like agitated about something. In Sattva-guna, waiting for a rainbow during the storm. So Sattva-guna means we accept certain difficult situations as a growing process. We accept certain challenges and disappointments as, oh, something better is around the corner. In Sattva-guna, when relationships break down because of the other person's responsibility, we don't take it as if, oh, I'm not good enough, oh, I mean, maybe you are not good enough, we don't know. Taking responsibility helps. But the point is to not get absorbed in negativity. Oh, that person is so bad, they did this to me, is one side of Tamoguna. Or another side of Tamoguna is, oh, I am so bad, I don't deserve good relationships. That is also not healthy, doesn't take us anywhere. But Sattva-guna means to try to take responsibility and to try to wait for the rainbow during the storm. In other words, having faith that everything will end well because we trust in Krishna. It takes practice, but it is possible. In Tamoguna, feeling like a victim. This is the most obvious trait of people whose planets are imbalanced and they are not capable of good relationships. They are constantly putting themselves in the position of a victim. Whether or not they were in that situation, they try to paint that picture for themselves and others. So they're constantly under Tamoguna. They're always feeling miserable. They're always waiting for what bad thing somebody will tell me so I can actually feel victim. In Rajoguna, aggressively react. Before even the person finishes saying the sentence, jump on this person and say, oh, how dare you say this to me? Or, oh, but I didn't mean that. So jumping into conversations without properly hearing and properly processing things. And then in Sattva-guna, taking responsibility. Okay, this is what you mean. Is it exactly what you mean? Or can you please repeat what you mean by I hurt you? Why did you feel hurt? Can you explain this? So taking responsibility is not running away, and it's not about reacting very aggressively, but rather trying to stay in that relationship, trying to be patient. It may not be easy for all of you. Some of you may have very difficult planets in the house of relationships. But again, awareness really brings light into that area and you can work on it. Because we cannot say, oh, this is my karma, I'm going to be like this for the rest of our life. It's like if you go to a doctor and say, yeah, there is a virus in your body, what to do, No, he gives a cure, there's a treatment. So similarly in astrology, whenever the planetary positions are in a difficult situation, it just means that you have to work a little harder. You have to take these antibiotics, you have to take these tablets so you can remove the virus. So the goal is to remove it, because sometimes I have seen that people try to use the planetary positions when they don't want to do something. They say, well, I have this planet here, what can I do, So they try to justify it. And when they want something, they want to do everything. What stone can I wear? What yagya can I do so I can have this thing? So we need to be aware of the fact that we need to take responsibility for what we have gained as a karma, and we need to also take responsibility to work towards something progressive, something like to get over these negative anarthas and form good qualities and good habits. In Tamoguna, not valuing what one has, I think it begins with self. Not valuing the talents that Krishna has given you, not valuing the family support that you may have got. Maybe you didn't get many things, but there are certain things that Krishna has given you. But sometimes we tend to make a list of things that we did not get, or list of things in a partner that we do not have. This is a pattern. If you have the same pattern with your parents, like you always try to say things that you did not get, it's likely that you have the same approach to everything in life. So this is a habit that you have to go back and start with your parents. Instead of pointing out what all are the things that they did not do, try to point out what are the good things that you did get from them. Same thing with other relationships. And then that has to come into the life situation, relationships. If you're thinking that, oh, I wish I marry a partner who does not count my mistakes, but rather counts the good things that I have done, recommend them to take the course so they can also understand these aspects, so understand themselves, understand the partner, you, and develop this quality yourself. Because if you develop this quality, then you can inspire people around you also to do it, and you can train your children in these good habits of not trying to be victim, of trying to take responsibility, of trying to value what you have. Let's end this generational curse of trying to always go for the negative. Let's try to shine with the energy of sun and see the positivity. Sun is also about positivity. Rajaguna, jealousy. Constant jealousy. Oh, why they are of this thing, they shouldn't be having it. There's a sense of burning sensation, and that doesn't really help us grow. One tip about jealousy is try to make friends with the people that you feel jealous, and then when you get to know more about them, the jealousy will actually fade away. And in fact, if you're jealous, means there's some liking about that particular person, and recognize that that quality is also given to them by Krishna. And if you can appreciate it, recognize that, then Krishna can give you the same quality for you also. In Sattvaguna, healthy self-worth, gratitude. In other words, trying to be appreciative of all the things Krishna has given, and trying to be happy for who we are, for the position that we are in life. That will give us more opportunities to grow and to develop all the sattvic qualities. In Tamoguna, there is this tendency to think, I am horrible, or like trying to keep on beating ourselves up due to certain mistakes that we did. And in Rajoguna, we tend to exaggerate the good qualities that we have, and we say, oh, I am so great, I'm amazing, and then we try to focus on that. Both of this is not helpful. But in Sattvaguna, I am a precious child of God, and so are others. So we try to recognize the uniqueness and in ourselves and with others. In Tamoguna, gossiping, trying to waste time talking about other people that we cannot control, we cannot do anything. See, there is a sense of disconnection with the self. When we don't want to deal with our life, when we don't want to get in touch with the deep, dark areas within us, we try to talk about others to fill in that gap so that we don't have to look inside, so we can deny what we need to work on. There is going to be this analogy that I will explain about the basement. So our inner, that will be in the next section. So the inner self needs attention, and all this gossiping and trying to look at other people, it blocks us from reaching that basement area of our existence. In Rajoguna, we try to imitate other people. We think that, oh, the other person is happy because they do this and they have this, and so if I also do the same thing and if I also have the same thing, I may also be happier. And so we try to subconsciously imitate other people. It's not a conscious thing we may do, but it's a subconscious thing. And that is also due to lack of connection with ourselves. In Sattva-guna, however, we own our power. We try to take power in our control and we say, I'm feeling this way, but what can I do to try to work on this? How can I fix this situation? So we try to own our power. We don't blame somebody else. We don't talk about other people gossiping around, but we try to own our own power, and we know how to utilize our freedom in the right way. In Tamoguna, playing victim for attention. We try to get attention from other people by doing things which may not be needed, unnecessary activities that actually is based on just trying to get attention. Oh, look what happened to me, poor me, look at me. So this, it's not again a conscious thing, but it's a subconscious thing. Sometimes we may do that. And actually, if you pray, I have personally done that, praying to Krishna to help me recognize certain bad habits that I have. Do I have this tendency? Sometimes we may not even be aware. So when we pray to Krishna, He will make those things float up, and then we see in ourselves, we are in a conversation and we say, yeah, that person did this to me. Immediately we can catch and say, look, are you trying to play victim here to try to get attention? Oops, I got to stop this. So we need to pray to Krishna so He can help us to see and recognize and work on that quality. Because if suddenly, this evening you get all the anarthas that you have into your conscious mind, we can have an emotional mental breakdown. We need to deal with these things slowly, eventually. Go for therapy, go for counseling, read certain books which helps you understand yourself better, read and attend seminars on forgiveness. These things are really helpful. Rajoguna, seeking attention through achievements. I have been that road, trying to again denying what I really need to work on internally, and again, trying to gain the world and lose the soul, trying to go after fame or money or prestige or achievements, trying to become something great so that I will feel fulfillment. It never happens actually. The real fulfillment is when we can deeply get in touch with ourselves, accept ourselves, to get in touch with that little child within us and make that child grow up into being the adult that we externally look like. Because we all lost that little child within us, maybe when we were 5 years old or 7 years old, and we started to act or pretend to be grown-ups, but that little child in us never grew up. So that little child in us is what does all this capricious work and trying to play victim, trying to seek attention, trying to feel, oh, I'm not bad and look at me, and this is a child within us. So we need to give attention with compassion to this child and make it grow up. So in Sattva-guna, don't need attention, but they use them. So in Sattva-guna, people are not seeking attention. Oh, please look at me, please, I'm here. No, but in Sattva-guna, if there is attention, we use it. We use it for preaching Krishna consciousness. We use it to give happiness to people around. So it's a completely different dynamics. And to come to this stage of Sattva-guna is such a luxury. It's so opulent to come to that stage where you're not looking for attention and not just trying to do activities to gain this appreciation or validation, because it doesn't, again, how much can you be fed by that? But there is an unlimited source of validation available within us, and that we can get in touch with those things. In Tamoguna, one is self-torturing. So doing unnecessary austerities, trying to put ourselves down, not give ourselves certain basic requirements. It's a very tamasic thing, especially when it comes to habits, not eating properly, not taking care of oneself, unnecessarily doing a lot of fasting, or unnecessarily taking up other physical austerities. It's not very healthy. In relationships, when people start doing this kind of things, It also means that they become kind of hard-hearted, and because they are very austere, they expect that other people also should be, and they can start becoming judgmental. So it's really not something, it's a red flag if you see somebody you are associating with who has this tendency to do this self-torture thing. Be very careful, because it's a red flag that tells you a lot more issues that will be upcoming in this person. In Rajaguna, arrogance, there is again this attitude of I'm great and I know how to deal with things, and if you are with a partner or you're getting to know somebody who is arrogant with other people but not with you, they're very nice towards you but they have that sense of arrogance around, that's a red flag again, because people usually have these tendencies in general, and it comes out in every relationship. Maybe in the beginning they do not show that to a partner that they potentially see to become a partner, future spouse, but these are qualities that you need to watch out for. And if you tend to have that, or maybe your friends say that you have it, or by prayer it is revealed to you that you need to work on it, it will save you a great deal of frustration, pain, and lots of tears if you work on this particular area. In Sattva Guna, one is dedicated to self-care. They have proper sadhana, they wake up in the time, they go to sleep in right times, they have food and prasadam in the proper healthy habits, healthy lifestyle. Self-care also means drawing boundaries. We will discuss that more in the Moon seminar. Drawing boundaries to protect ourselves and to protect relationships in the long run. So self-care has a wide range of aspects and areas to it.